Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Cecilia, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you've joined us for today's battery and precious metals presentations. Our next live presentation comes from Outcrop Silver and Gold. Before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. If you're interested in scheduling a meeting with Outcrop Silver and Gold, please click on the Meetings tab found on the left navigation bar. You will be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Joe Hebert, Executive Officer and Director of Outcrop Silver and Gold, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol OCGSF and on the TSXV under the symbol OCG. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you so much. I'm privileged. It's a privilege to be here to talk and especially to talk about our flagship property in Colombia, which is Santa Ana. It has a very rich colonial history. There were times that it provided the highest grades in the Spanish colonial empire, as high as 30 kilograms silver per ton. We have a very high grade discovery that we made out of the district, and we think that there's a future mine for Santa Ana. Typical disclaimers about risk and how it can affect actual outcomes. So we're looking at a very important milestone coming up, which will be Outcrop moving the discovery to the next stage of value, which will be a 43101 resource in this quarter. We have an internal guidance in the first quarter of 2023 of between 45 and 55 million silver equivalent ounces at between 550 to 750 equivalent grams per ton. Those grade numbers are incredibly impressive if you look at the average grade of either primary silver mines worldwide, or if you look at even some developing projects that produce it at substantially less grade than what we expect. Why Outcrop? High grade itself is a de-risk of both the project and in turn a company. Santa Ana, again, is the highest grade and really the only primary silver camp known in Colombia. As a camp, again, it produced remarkable values. Currently, we're drilling some of those values in excess of 13 kilograms silver at times. We have 13 chutes that we've identified. Many of those will go into this current resource, but not all of them. But the ones that don't reflect the upcoming upside in the future. We have numerous targets to be drilled this year. We have a budget of up to 30,000 meters, depending on the cost of capital and being able to execute those plans. Really, it's a world-class project. You can compare it with respect to the amount of just the gross large amount of vein strike. It's over 60 kilometers. Those are actually vein zones. So Santa Ana truly can be compared with a project like some of the famous silver districts of Mexico, like Guanajuato or Fresnillo. We have 195 million shares outstanding because we've been committed for the last 3 years to making that discovery into a resource and adding significant value to every share. Fully diluted at 302 million. We have a market capitalization of 51.6 million. We do have analyst coverage through Research Capital, Stuart McDougal. He has a forecast price of 75 cents if we can produce a resource of 50 million silver equivalent ounces valued at about $3 an ounce. Eric Sprott still maintains 14% of the company, and management and directors about 12%. I've got 36 years experience in pretty much all aspects of economic geology. I do think you want the technical guys in the driver's seat, but of course supported by everything else they need to run the company efficiently. But you want the technical decisions to be made at the top. And with expertise. Also, fortunately, is we were able to hire Guillermo Hernandez as VP. We hired him away from Lundin Gold, where he worked at Fruta del Norte. He came to us in the time frame of us putting together our resource, so very timely because he was also on the resource team for Fruta del Norte. An overview of Santa Ana. We have the project as highway access. It's basically a drive-up project in the town of Falan. It has grid power, including a major transmission line, actually very economical power because it's mostly hydropower in Colombia. Very strong community support. Very important to some of the latest developments in Colombia and the government's desire to participate in the energy transition. Silver is a strategic metal for the government's new energy transition economy. We've got over 50,000 meters of drilling in 307 holes. That amount of drilling itself de-risks the project. We have about a 60% success rate on each and every hole. The weighted average grade for 198 intercepts from 284 drill holes averages 1.5 kilograms equivalent silver per ton. This is it's a primary silver with complementary gold project. It's about 7.56 grams gold and 860 grams silver on average. On the right, you'll see a map. These are the 60 kilometers of vein zones. We're working the southeast corridor that's fully permitted and titled with the government. We have about an 18-kilometer trend. On the northeast end is the Royal Santa Ana mines with their tremendous production, famous production history. And on the southwest end, we have the Frias mine, which itself produced almost 8 million ounces of silver at 1.3 kilograms silver recovered. So we have a marvelous exploration potential anchored by a epic colonial district and a very major mine to the southwest. You can just see on the left some of the headliner drill assays we've had. In June, 1.85 meters of almost 7.6 kilograms. In July, 6.9 meters of 2.1 kilograms. August, 897 meters at 1.6 kilograms. And we just keep on rolling with those kind of numbers. Up into January, we have 3 meters, 3.5 meters true thickness at almost 4 kilograms silver equivalent per ton. Santa Ana is what I would call charmed in several ways. One of the things is that the veins and the mineralization commonly outcrop. It makes for a very straightforward exploration. You map the outcrop, sample the outcrop, step off and drill, and typically hit surface type mineralization at not uncommonly kilogram type values. We've also been able to discern a regional or a district-wide, what I call top of ore. So we know we want to hit the vein at about between 800 and 600 meters absolute or mean sea level. That's helped us to target and hit more efficiently. And we also, the ore shoots typically occur on a regular basis of 300 to 400 meters along any given vein. This illustrates the resources, the veins that will be in the resource compared to other targets. We're only putting about 9 vein segments right now into the resource. About 10 shoots. It really represents less than 30% of the highly prospective veins we have in this small section of the greater property. We might expect to at least triple the expected maiden resource just by continuing to drill these very prospective veins. And this is just a representation of the chutes through pierce points. Where you see red, that's high grade. You have a lot of red, and it has good contours. The high grade tends to hold together. Importantly, Las Maris is one of the chutes in the sort of the central part of the 18-kilometer trend we're focusing on. Its mineralization extends to over 370 meters depth where it remains open. The average depth of the rest of our chutes is only 170 meters. And the freest mine that I mentioned goes down over 300 meters. So we have excellent potential to expand the potential resource just by continuing to drill deep. Another distinct advantage of at Santa Ana is that it's a narrow vein system, but wherever you have high angle veins, they typically occur in packages. You might have 3 or 4 or more veins clustered within an interval of 20 meters or less. So there will be opportunities as in this example in Roberto Tovar, very close spaced vein packages in the central part of this Roberto Tovar chute. You can put 3 veins together with the wall rock and still come up with 8 meters true thickness of 450 equivalent grams silver per ton. If we can just composite about 15% of the veins by volume, that will increase our average true thickness almost 2 times to over a meter and a half. Another real gift at Santa Ana is the mineralogy and the resulting metallurgy. 90% of the gold is free native state, meaning basically the stuff the old prospectors would pan in history and or currently now gravity through simple Nelson concentrators or tables or gravity recovery. There's another 4% coarse native silver, another 4% coarse native electrum, and then 88% of the silver is in one mineral, which is argentite. Argentite is composed of 87% silver by chemical composition. So basically you have one mineral to focus on and treat in processing, so it'll be very straightforward in economical processing. The grind is going to be within very acceptable and attractive limits. 80 to 90% of the sulfides are liberated at 153 microns. Average gold recoveries are 96%. Average silver recoveries are 94%. If we chose to put it in a concentrate, it would be about 6.5 kilograms silver and almost 33 ounces per ton gold. There was a deserved concern with respect to Colombia with the last election. The more left and green candidate won, but we've in many forums, in many different deliveries of the speeches or in the media, he has said pointedly that they're not anti-mining. They want to foster exploration that contributes to the energy transition. As silver, as an example, that they want environmentally and socially responsible mining, and then they want exploration and mining to bring benefits and better prosperity to the countryside, where the poverty level is about 40%. So we think we're aligned with what the government wants to do. And we think we'll have the support of the government. I actually today met with the Vice Minister of Mines in Colombia. It was a very receptive audience on his part, and he expressed to us what he would like the companies to deliver, and we expressed what we would like the way in the company support. So socially and responsible mining, that's of course that's a given with modern mining and best practices, but it needs to be specific to the jurisdiction or the governments you're working with. We basically the first thing we do is satisfy the communities that we're a good neighbor, that they're here to listen to how we can help, and then to subsequently help. We're doing some innovative things, like cooperation with nonprofits to provide 278 wheelchairs to the disabled community. We're doing we're helping with microcap business startups. We are helping increase the productivity on the farms on the project. And then we have a fairly major or a substantial reforestation program to benefit the countryside with respect to forests that have been eliminated. So just quickly, some catalysts. We have 3 rigs turning right now, so you can expect a good news flow. The targets are all high-grade veins, typically outcrop. A good chance we'll be delivering kilogram-type silver. We have, with that 3 drill rigs, it'll be almost 1,800 meters a month. We will be drilling the Frias mine, Frias mine area that produced 8 million ounces itself. And then again, of course, the important catalyst will be this resource report we put out in this quarter. And I think we have some time for some questions. I can see here a question here is, can you speak to the supply demand curve for silver? The silver solar panels themselves are supposed to increase at a rate such that it will consume all the demand of current silver production within, I think, less than 10 years, and it will continue to grow from there. And then also, silver is the mineral for solar panels themselves. It's important too, with respect to the government, is that the solar panel technology, it would be easier to have an organic solar panel industry with its silver resources in Colombia than you would to, say, trying to start up an EV car company in Colombia. I have what were your takeaways from the recent Los Naranjos drill results? I guess 2 things. One is we proved again, we didn't know if we had reached the deeper limits of Naranjos, but we looked at the absolute elevation, came back in and make sure we started hitting holes at that 750 to or so below sea level. Then we started immediately hitting both good intercepts, but also more importantly, some better thickness intercepts. I think up to 1.89 true thickness, which is a nice thing with. The discussion of a capital position, I can't really say other than I'm not allowed to say other than what is the latest reported cash position. If we will be able to sustain the drilling program into this year, but it depends on the amount of drilling we want to do with respect to the goals for drilling. We may or may not require financing sometime within the year. Let's see. maybe I can. I think that's the end of the questions that I'm seeing. So I guess I'll just leave at this point. But if your questions develop, our contacts are, of course, on the webpage and in this presentation. So don't hesitate to further any other questions you may have directly to us through those contacts. And again, thank you very much.